Imagine you keep one notebook listing every student in school and a totally separate notebook listing every class. A new student joins. How does the school remember which class she belongs to without copying her whole life story into the class notebook twice? Right after that puzzle, let's meet the players. In a database, a table is simply a list with named columns and one row per thing. Our student's table has an ID, a name, and an age. Every single row gets its own unique ID number. So that unique ID has a special job. We call it the primary key, a guaranteed one-of-a-kind label like a fingerprint, so the database can find exactly one row and never mix two students up. No two rows are ever allowed to share it. Now that each student has a unique tag, we need somewhere to put classes. Here's a second table, classes. It also has its own primary key, a class ID plus a subject name. Math is class 10, art is class 20, two separate tidy lists. But how do we connect a student to a class? The lazy way is to copy Mia's full name, age, and details into the class's table too. Do that, and the same facts live in two places, ready to disagree the moment anything changes. Instead of copying everything, we store just one tiny thing in the class's side, the student's ID number. That little number is a pointer that says go look up row 1 in the student's table. One number replaces a whole pile of repeated text. So that little stored ID has an official name, a foreign key. It's a column in one table whose job is to hold a primary key value from another table. The primary key is home. The foreign key is a signpost pointing back to it. Remember our signpost. Here's the magic in action. The database sees student ID 1 in enrollments, jumps along the link and lands on row 1 in students, Mia, age 12. One small number unfolds into the full, always current record. So what stops someone storing student ID 99 when no student 99 exists? The foreign key acts like a strict bouncer. Before saving, it checks the student's table. If the ID isn't there, the database refuses the row outright. That guard rule has a fancy name, referential integrity. It simply promises that every foreign key always points at a real, existing row. Because of it, your data can never quietly point into empty space or invent a student who was never there. Now watch how powerful this gets. Mia can enroll in math and art. We don't copy Mia twice. We just add two enrollment rows that both point their foreign key at student 1. One real record, reused by as many links as we like. But here's a tricky moment. What happens if we delete student 1 while enrollments still point at her? Those foreign keys would suddenly aim at a ghost. The database must decide what to do before letting that deletion happen. So databases give us rules for exactly that. Cascade deletes the linked enrollments along with the student. Restrict blocks the delete until the links are gone. SCT null keeps the row but empties the pointer. You choose the plan upfront. Step back and look. With primary keys naming rows and foreign keys linking them, a whole school, store, or app stays organized with no repeated mess. Change a fact once and every linked place sees it instantly. So how do we wrap this up? So remember, a table is a tidy list, a primary key is each row's unique name tag, and a foreign key is a little pointer that links one table to another. Together they keep data connected, trustworthy, and never repeated. That's the quiet power of foreign keys.